Hello, I'm Nneka Nwobi, and I trust that you're keeping well and safe in the midst of this pandemic, which we're looking forward to it coming to an end. But as human beings, we get to adjust to the situations that we find ourselves. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. I was interestingly having a conversation with my assistant earlier on today, and she asked me, how am I so disciplined? Because she now manages my calendar and she's able to see my schedule and the things I'm planning to do. And she was like, how did I even get started? Have I always been like this? She just had so many questions for me. And then she then asked me, what one book can I recommend to her? As a woman of faith, I definitely said the Bible, but she said, apart from the Bible, which other book can I recommend in terms of her becoming more disciplined and being intentional about how she plans her life or designs her life? And I thought for a while, and I tried to remember all the many books that I have read around personal development. I have always been interested in all things personal development in terms of how you can be your best self, and knowing that there's a gap between where you are currently and where you need to go. So I've read a lot of leadership books and different other genres as well. But one that I immediately thought about, having given it some thought, was a book written by my friend and my mentor, John Maxwell, and it's called The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And I found that book very insightful. I believe that was probably one of the first books that I read that really helped me become more disciplined. And especially at this time now, it's so important that you're focused on growing yourself, because there are external circumstances that you can't control, but you can control yourself. So I want to share 3 or 4 of my favorite laws in that book. The first one is the law of intentionality. This is where you really think about how far you can go, not really how long is it going to take, because oftentimes now we're always looking, okay, how long is it going to take to get to where you want to be? But it's really around thinking at how far you can go and beginning to walk about that, so you're intentional about everything that you do. And so when she talks about my calendar, she's like, everything, right to planning to plan, thinking time, even time for free time is scheduled as well. And so it has helped me to become very intentional about my day. And what happens, I become very productive. Of course, am I where I want to be? No, because I do have other mentors who are way ahead, and I did share that with her, way ahead of me. The second area that is very important to me is the law of reflection. After reading that book, I realized the importance of taking time out to reflect. One of the quotes by Peter Drucker around reflection is, follow effective action with quiet reflection to get even more action. So you are effective already, but to even improve or even like exponentially grow your activities is to take time out to pause and take time out to reflect. And reflecting is really about asking yourself questions. So at the end of the day, you could ask yourself, how did I do today? And rate yourself, say on a scale of 1 to 10. What were the good things? What are areas I need to improve on? And I usually look at about 7 to 10 areas of my life, but that will be in another recording. I'll share that with you. And then weekly as well. And by you being really honest with yourself, can you now make a plan to help you become even more effective? A third law in the invaluable laws of growth is the law of consistency. And John Maxwell says motivation gets you going, but it's discipline that keeps you going. Motivation, you can be very excited about something, start something, but then it's discipline that is going to keep you in. Because at times, it's most things that you want to accomplish is really hard work. And my assistant was like, Diane, her name, was like, Nneka, you're so disciplined. I'm like, well, it's about being consistent. At times I feel like doing a recording. At times I don't have to do a recording. But I know that I need to show up and just keep going. And through that, I'm growing as a result of that. So even in this time, It's about being consistent. It's not looking about the external environment. It's about, okay, what can I do on a daily basis to be consistent? How are you consistent on things like that? If you're working to lose weight too, how are you eating? Being consistent. So it's not like the high, the low, the high and the low. It's just being consistent. Of course, there might be a few cheats in there, right? After all, you're human. But it's just keeping yourself within that path because you are intentional about where you want to go to. Another law that I really, really like, I have two more. The next one is the law of design. As I mentioned earlier on, I'm a planner. And so it's really around thinking strategies that will help you grow. And John says to maximize growth, you must develop strategies. That's planning. You are your best self when you live your life by design, not just happenstance and you just drifted. No, it's about taking time out to plan that. And it's amazing when you put that plan, how nature conspires, you call it the law of vibration, to help you get those things that you have put in your plan. That's one of the ways you can grow. And another of my favorite laws is the law of the rubber band. And you just think about the rubber band. John says that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So if you think of a rubber band, it's most active or it's most at work or most functional when it's really stretched. If you put it on the not doing anything, it will just be there. But when you want to tie up something, you're going to keep stretching it and stretching it and stretching it. And that's what growth is about. Life begins to happen when you're outside your comfort zone. So even at this time, a question to ask yourself is, how can I live outside my comfort zone right now? I dare you. What's the one thing that you want to do that you've always wanted to do, but is really going to stretch you? I encourage you to take that step and do that, and you'll be amazed at the results that you will experience. Apart from feeling much better, you would have also grown. I just reviewed 4 of my favorite laws. I talked about the law of intentionality, the law of reflection, the law of consistency, the law of design, and the law of rubber band. Actually, 5 laws of my favorite. So I've given you 5. There are 10 more. So I encourage you during this time to take some time and read that book. And I'm sure that you will really be blessed by it. And when you've done so, let me know what your favorite law was. And let's engage here. If this recording was of value to you, I ask that you share with your friends. Let them know about this and also challenge them to choose their favorite law and begin to work on that. Until the next time we connect, endeavor to live a significant life.